And gentlemen, this is Rabbi Prince Joseph Tomongalate Baba coming to speak to you on a very important topic. And this time around, I want to talk about drug and alcohol addiction. I am speaking to you today about this topic because I observed on social media the good work that the Boikai administration is doing in Liberia when it comes to fighting drugs in the country. But there's a different and a professional face to how people tackle drug addiction, or how people fight against the spread of drugs, in a society. And I just wanted to share a few thoughts with all of you, all Liberians, and even those who are in the law enforcement sector of the Liberian government. You need to listen to this message because it's very important. First, I want to explain to you that drug addiction is a disease. It's a disease. It's like when you have a malaria, or when you have cold, when you have cough. Okay, so when someone has a disease, the best way to assist that person is to find some kind of medical, therapeutic, means by which you can assist that person with a disease. So it's the same thing with those who are battling with drug addiction. Because someone is a drug addict does not mean that the person should be ill-treated. It doesn't mean that the person should be disrespected. It doesn't mean that anybody in the community can just come and scream and shout and insult that individual because he's a drug addict. It doesn't mean that you can, rise up as a community, form a mob to go around grabbing people that you suspect of being drug addicts, to ill-treat them, to beat them, to punch them, to kick them. As I have seen, that is unacceptable and that is illegal. Yes, it's a good thing to fight against drug, use in a society, in a community, in a country. But when it comes to, first of all, drug addicts, we must really make sure that we have the resources to assist those people who are drug addicts. And for the Liberian society, very sadly, those who are the addicts are very young people, future leaders that the country could benefit from if we assist them. So, for instance, when it comes to the issue of addressing or helping those who are drug addicts, first, we must have a drug addiction program with qualified psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers. We must also have the facility where they can be taken to be detoxed so that eventually they can be talked to. We must have therapists, people who will take their time to let them know that there are other alternatives in life that they can choose other than, drugs. So it's a whole lot. And also, it's a confidential thing. Because you realize or you recognize that your neighbor is a drug addict, to assist that person, it's not your duty to go around telling everyone that Peter Paul is a drug addict. If you know that Peter Paul is a drug addict, and you care about people poor, you must take your time to go and speak to that person. Take your time to offer them some help. Don't just talk and disgrace people and insult people because you feel that you are not a drug addict, but the next person is a drug addict. It doesn't work like that. And it will never work in that way where I see people in the community going around banging on people's doors, breaking up people's zinc shacks, burning people's mattresses and all of that because they are drug addicts. No, that's not the way to go. First of all, do we have an institution where people who have these serious issues with drug addiction can be taken? Do we have the technicians? Do we have the medical practitioners who are specialized in helping people who have mental health illnesses and drug addiction problems? These are the things, first of all, that we must look at in our quest to rid our society of drug or drug use and drug abuse, as well as alcohol. So what I'm saying, essence, is that don't go around grabbing people, cursing them, insulting them, hurting them, destroying their properties because they are drug addicts. And I want you to understand that addiction, by the time the person reaches the stage where they get addicted to drugs, that becomes a mental health issue. That person is suffering from mental health. And so it's important that we respect the dignity of the individuals that we suspect or that we are sure are drug addicts. We should respect their dignity. Because they are drug addicts doesn't mean that they are less of a Liberian citizen than you are. Their rights, their constitutional rights must be intact. And part of the responsibility of a responsible society, of a responsible civic person, is to ask the person, how can I be of help to you? And also for the government, that they must have an organized program where these people, their issues can be addressed as a mental health thing. Also, I'm going to talk about the drug lords and how we should also address that issue. But for now, I want you to understand that you have no right to go into communities to beat people, to destroy their properties, to insult them, to abuse their human rights simply because they are drug addicts. If you cannot help them, do not harm them. But we must treat those who are suffering from drug addiction, we must treat them with respect and dignity, as you would love to be treated with respect and dignity. God.